back to the start. Thanks for coming out yesterday. This is Donnie. So I'm gonna just take the swing through just so you can kind of see it, and I'll just go to 2D right now, and just so you can kind of see it. So one of the big deals, and we'll look at some numbers here in a second and get specific, but there's just entirely too much like move to the right side or sway off the ball. All right. And that's causing some issues on the downswing. Is going to get you what most people would consider kind of like maybe over the top a little bit, divots going to the left. All right, and when we get a little more detailed here and look at some numbers, the number we're going to look at is this chest sway number here on the bottom, and you'll see here as I take it through, at that point you've moved 2.2 inches away from the target or to your right side. And at the top of the swing, it's more. It's 3.1, all right? And then you can also see, if you look at the pelvis sway right next to that on the bottom left, you'll see, it's moving about the same right there as the chest, and it's actually moving more at the top, an inch more. So basically what that does is that makes you have you've got a long ways to go on the way through, okay? All right, so I think if we can stay a little bit more centered, and I'm going to draw a line here so you can kind of see this right here. Let me just extend that up to your chest just so you can kind of get a picture for this a little bit as you swing. All right, now if we look at that, as you go back, you can see how far you move back. Now we've got a long ways to go from there to get back up, and actually you get a little bit in front, and we want to be up there in front on the way through. But you just had such a long distance to travel. And I think if we can get you staying a little more centered, just feel like you're staying centered, almost like, I'm going to get those lines off there and draw something else. Draw a couple lines here. Yeah, if we can feel like we're staying kind of, within this box here, right? Okay. During the swing, we'll be in better shape, and you can see you get outside that box on the way back, all right? You can almost see two. Let me get that off there. You can almost see two here, as you go back. If you watch just your back foot or your right foot, you almost see the weight go to kind of the outside of that foot, all right? So at that point, you've kind of lost all your leverage, all right? And you have to try to create everything on the way through. So if we could stay a little more centered, that'd really help. Now, I'm going to look at this chest sway number just so you can kind of get a picture of this at different points in the swing, right? So let's say halfway back, right, you're 2.2 inches as we saw. The pro range, they're just short of 2 would be like the most they are, and most of them are probably an inch off the ball to centered. Now, at the top of the backswing, this is where it gets way off, okay? You're a little over 3 inches. Most of the pros are between maybe 1 inch to the right or behind, away from the target, to 1 inch towards the target at the top of the backswing. So there's not much shifting going on to the backside. And like I said, so the more you can stay centered, the better off you'll be. And you can really see this on the 3D model here. I'm going to get you back to the start and draw a couple lines on there. Okay, so we've got a chest and pelvis line, obviously chest being the blue. And as you take the club back, you'll be able to see everything move way back, okay? And you can see it from here, and I'll show it to you from a different angle, and maybe that would even make more sense to you. If we look from above, you can really see that shift back, right? So you've got a long ways to go. And so if we can stay a little more on top of the ball, on the backswing, stay centered, all right? It may even feel to you like you're staying on your, staying on your left side a little bit, because the way through is really pretty good. I think if we could do that, we'll be a lot better off, all right? Let's go back to setup. Yeah, I mean, the setup position is fine. We just got to stay a little more centered on the way back, and I think that'll help you a ton, get a little more crisp, consistent contact. Chad, I hope that helps you, bud. If you have any questions, feel free to ask, and thanks again for coming out.